The sky is choking on smoke. Trees crack like bones in the distance. Ranger Cole grips the wheel of the rescue truck as he barrels down the fire road, radio static screaming in his ear. Wildfire has jumped the containment line. The sanctuary is burning. Ash rains like snow as he skids to a stop near the eastern corridor. Antelope scatter, eyes wide with terror. Cole leaps from the cab and waves his arms, herding the panicked herd toward the last open gate. The flames aren't far. Every second matters. Then, a sound. Behind him, a branch snaps, heavy, deliberate. He spins around, heart hammering. Through the thick curtain of smoke, something moves, large, silent, stalking. And then it emerges, a white tigress. She is massive, scarred. Her once sleek fur is streaked with ash and blood. One paw drags slightly. Her mouth is open in a silent snarl, steam rising off her flanks. Her eyes, glowing amber, lock onto Cole's. He freezes. She takes one step forward, then another. Her muscles ripple beneath burnt fur. Her growl starts deep, low, building like a drumbeat in his chest. Cole slowly raises his tranquilizer rifle. His hands shake. He's trained for this, but this feels different. She's not just wild. She looks furious, desperate, and she's coming straight for him. 20 feet. 10. Cole's finger tightens on the trigger. Then the tigress halts. Her breathing rasps. She lowers her head. With a soft exhale, she opens her jaws, and something small, limp, and pale drops from her mouth. A cub, barely breathing, unmoving, white as snow. Time stops. The tigress looks at Cole one last time. No growl, no lunge, just silence. Then her legs buckle. Her massive body crashes into the ash beside her cub, unconscious, vulnerable. Cole stares, stunned. His rifle drops slightly. Smoke curls around them like a closing curtain. This wasn't a charge. It wasn't an attack. It was a plea. He rushes forward, sliding beside the two tigers. The cub's fur is singed. He places a trembling hand near its nose. A breath, faint. The tigress doesn't move. "Base, this is Ranger Cole," he says into the radio, voice hoarse. "I need emergency evac. 2 tigers, white female, adult and juvenile, both down, breathing shallow." Static. Then a voice. "Say again, did you say white tiger?" He looks at her again, the rarest predator on the continent, and she brought her dying cub to him. "Affirmative," he says, kneeling between them, "and she saved him by bringing him here." In the distance, fire crackles louder. The tree line glows red. Cole doesn't wait. He lifts the cub gently into his arms and signals the team. The tigress needs a stretcher. He needs time. But nature isn't giving any. The rescue truck barrels across charred earth. Smoke hangs low like a shroud. Inside, the cub lies across Cole's lap, its tiny body trembling, ribs rising just barely with each breath. Ash clings to its fur. One eye is crusted shut. Cole doesn't take his eyes off him, not even for a second. The mobile vet unit is prepped and waiting. As the doors burst open, 2 medics rush forward. One scoops the cub into gloved arms, the other slams the emergency oxygen line into place. The tigress, still unconscious, is hauled onto a reinforced table. Her flanks rise slowly. A burn coils across her leg. "Vitals dropping fast," the vet barks. "We need a clear airway." A tube slides into the cub's throat. Monitors whine. The team works in tense silence, their movements swift, synchronized. One medic administers adrenaline, another injects fluids. The cub jerks, then slumps again. "He's crashing," someone mutters. The vet leans over him, whispering to no one, "Come on, little one." Then, movement. The cub lets out a hoarse, rattling cough. His paws twitch. A weak heartbeat pings through the monitor, not stable, but alive. The room exhales. Cole kneels beside him. "You're tougher than you look." But something's wrong. A medic points to the cub's gums. "Discoloration here. Look at that bruising." The vet narrows her eyes. This isn't smoke damage. She draws blood. The sample runs through the analyzer. The screen flashes. Elevated neurotoxins. Cole reads the report over her shoulder. It's not from fire. It's poison. Not ingested, she adds. Absorbed. Likely contact-based. Cole stiffens. What kind? Machlora derivative, synthetic strain, same used in poacher baits. He steps back, fists tightening. You're sure? We've seen it once before, lethal in minutes without treatment. The vet turns to the tigress. We need to check her. She brought him here. She may be exposed too. They roll her gently. Cole sees it now. Her breathing is shallow, uneven. Her tongue is pale. They draw blood. The results are clear. The toxin is in her system too. And yet, she made it through the burning forest, dragging her dying cub. Cole's throat tightens. I know her, he whispers. Years ago, she was a rescue. He remembers the moment. A juvenile white tiger cub, barely walking. He'd overseen her rehabilitation, fed her, released her. No GPS tag, no trackers, just faith. And now, she's back, with her own cub, carrying him through flames, poisoned, bleeding, straight to him. She remembered, he murmurs. She chose you, the vet says quietly. Alarms beep again. The cub's heart rate dips. They inject a stabilizer. It holds for now. The vet looks at Cole. If the toxin's in the wild, others are in danger. Cole nods. Then we find the source. He slings his rifle over his shoulder, jaw clenched. Trace her trail, he says, from the fire to here. Somewhere out there, someone left poison, and she walked through hell to show us. The tigress doesn't stir, but her cub breathes. For now, that's enough. Morning breaks with a red haze over the jungle ruins. The fire's edge has retreated, but the air still stings with smoke. Cole moves swiftly, machete in hand, slicing through burnt underbrush. Two trackers follow behind, boots crunching in ash. He's retracing the tigress's path, searching for where the poison began. She didn't stumble into the sanctuary by chance. She was running from something. They find her trail, deep paw prints in soot, spaced unevenly. One rear print is smeared. She'd been limping. A bloody streak clings to leaves she brushed against. Cole holds up a hand. The team freezes. A shredded tarp dangles from a tree branch, edges charred. Beneath it, the scorched remnants of a poacher camp. He steps into the clearing, broken crates, burned equipment, smashed cages, still stained with dried blood. Steel traps hang from a half-melted wire rack. A rusted barrel oozes black fluid into the dirt. He kneels beside it. Machlora extract. The smell is faint but unmistakable. Sweet, metallic, laced with death. A half-burned label confirms it. Concentrate. Handle with care. Cole turns to the trackers. This is where she was poisoned. This is where it started. A short distance away they find bones, small, scorched. A juvenile wildcat. Vultures scatter as they approach. Flies buzz over the rotting carcass. Same signs. Blood around the mouth, clenched limbs, no signs of injury. Another victim. Cole's eyes burn, not from the smoke, but from rage. This wasn't random. This was planned. He scans the ground and finds a discarded GPS tag, stripped from an animal's collar. Poachers knew how to avoid detection, but the fire exposed their secrets. One tracker speaks. Why poison? They're not after pelts. This looks systematic. Cole's voice is low. They're clearing predators. The man frowns. For what? Expansion. He remembers the rumors. A private company backed by foreign investors had pushed for resort rights on reserve land, denied, blocked by laws protecting apex predators. But if the tigers vanished, this isn't poaching, it's sabotage. Back at the camp, the vet team analyzes new samples. Same neurotoxin in the cub's blood appears in a boar's remains found near the camp perimeter. The toxin doesn't just kill, it lingers, spreads through the food chain. One infected carcass could take down an entire species if unchecked. The vet updates Cole via radio. We need full containment. Now, one more day out there and this jungle turns into a graveyard. He looks out over the destroyed site. The tigress survived this. Poisoned. Wounded. She carried her cub through fire and smoke, through death, just to find help, to send a message. She didn't run. She chose. Back in the med tent, her cub lets out a faint cry. The tigress stirs but doesn't rise. Her breathing is shallow, fading. They administer another dose of antitoxin, but time is running out. Cole returns, coated in soot, hands trembling. "We found the source," he says, "and it's bigger than we thought." He looks at her. "You knew what no one else did, and you gave everything to warn us." The tigress doesn't answer, but she doesn't need to. Rain pounds the canopy in heavy sheets. The fire is dying, but the jungle is wounded. Cole leans over the sanctuary's main table, maps soaked and curling at the corners. Red X's mark sites, where poisoned animals have already been found. He circles them with shaking hands. "We've got 24 hours, he says. "That toxin is spreading through the scavenger chain. If we don't stop it now, it'll wipe out everything." The vet looks up from her station. "We've got 8 animals showing symptoms. That's just the ones we found." Cole grabs his pack. "Then we find more." "No roads," a ranger warns. "Access routes are blocked, trees down, bridges gone." "Then we go on foot." Cole leads a small team into the jungle. Each carries tranquilizers, antidote doses, and locator gear. Rain muddies the ground, making tracking harder. But they press on. Hours pass. The forest is eerily silent. No calls, no rustling. The animals are hiding, or already dead. Then a flash of movement. A civet stumbles from the bushes, limbs twitching, saliva foaming at the mouth. Cole lunges, injects the antitoxin. The animal convulses, then stills. A moment later, it breathes. It worked. They move fast now. At the riverbank, they find a leopard cub, eyes wide, spine rigid. Another injection. Another life pulled back from the edge. One by one, they work through the marked zones, saving who they can. Back at base, the vet team stays by the tigress. Her breathing is labored, her heartbeat slow. They administer a second dose. Her eyes flutter but don't open. The cub curls against her side, letting out soft whimpers. Inside the tent, monitors beep in shaky rhythm. Rain drums against the canvas roof. Time is running out. Cole radios in. 7 confirmed poisoned, 2 stabilized, still searching. The vet's voice cracks. She's crashing. If we can't neutralize the toxin, she won't last. Cole's jaw clenches. "We're coming back. Get the final dose ready." They reach the camp by nightfall. Cole bursts through the flap, soaked, bleeding from thorns, boots caked in mud. He tosses a bag onto the table, samples, tissue swabs, toxin residue. The vet gets to work. Cole kneels by the tigress. Her breathing is shallow. Her ribs barely move. He looks into her face. "You held on this long," he says. "You don't quit now." The vet loads the final syringe, antitoxin, custom calibrated, the last one. She injects it. For minutes, nothing. Then the tigress shifts. Her body trembles. One paw stretches, claws flexing. Her eyes flicker open, not wide, not alert, but focused. She sees the cub beside her. She sees Cole. And then she breathes deeper. The vet nods slowly. "We're not out of it, but she's responding." Cole steps back. Rain softens. The fire is gone. Only steam rises now. "She made it through poison," he whispers. "Through fire. Through hell." The tigress lifts her head. Her cub mules. She noses him gently, pulling him close. It's not over, but she's still fighting. And now she isn't alone. Dawn breaks through the canopy in shafts of gold. Mist curls over the jungle floor like breath returning to the land. The sanctuary is quiet, peaceful. But inside the field tent, all eyes are on the white tigress. She stirs. The vet freezes mid-step. Cole rises slowly from his chair, every nerve alert. The tigress stretches one paw forward, then another. Her muscles tremble, but her body holds. She pushes herself up, slowly, shakily, until she stands. Rainwater drips from the canvas. Her cub blinks beside her, tail twitching. He takes one step, then another, and presses into her side. She leans into him, resting her chin on his head. "She's stable," the vet whispers, livers flushing the last of the toxin. Cole exhales for the first time in hours. The tent is still. No one moves. The tigress turns her head and looks at him. Her golden eyes, no longer wild with pain, now hold something deeper, not fear, not confusion, memory. She takes one step toward him. Her cub follows, pawing through the mud. Cole doesn't move, doesn't reach for a weapon. He simply stands there, steady. Then she stops. There's no roar, no threat. She turns, slow and deliberate, and walks past him. Not away. Home. Rangers part as she moves through camp. Some raise cameras, others bow their heads. No one dares speak. She doesn't hurry. Her steps are measured, dignified. She pauses only once to look over her shoulder, at Cole, at the place that saved her child. Then she disappears into the trees, her cub trotting at her heels. The jungle swallows them. Cole stands rooted, soaked in morning mist, eyes fixed on the place she vanished. "She came back," he murmurs. "She trusted us." Back at HQ, Cole reviews old sanctuary logs. There she is, entry number 1432, white tigress, female, estimated 6 months, rescued after being caught in a steel trap. He remembers the day she was released. He'd watched her fade into the trees, unsure if she'd ever survive. Now she'd returned, not to hunt, not to hide, but to deliver a message, a warning. Later that week, wildlife officials swarm the burned poacher camp. Evidence pours in, maps, baiting logs, contracts. A luxury development group is named in the investigation. Charges are filed. Public outrage surges. The project is shut down. Protected zones are expanded. Patrols increase. The jungle begins to heal. And somewhere deep within it, the white tigress raises her cub. Cole never sees her again. But sometimes, on quiet mornings, when the mist is low and the trees sway just right, he hears it, a distant roar. Not a cry of rage, but of legacy. She became a ghost in the fire, a symbol in the storm, a mother who refused to let death take what she loved. She didn't run from the jungle. She became part of it. And every step she took, from the flames to the ranger's feet, was a testament to something the world forgets too often. Even the wild knows how to ask for help. And sometimes, if you're lucky, it remembers who answered. She came through fire, through poison, through everything meant to kill her, because she believed someone would help. And when the moment came, she didn't roar. She trusted. She remembered. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that animals feel, remember, and fight for their families just like we do, please like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to believe in something bigger than themselves. Because sometimes the wild doesn't just survive, it forgives, and it never forgets.